My name is Samuel Chukwuemeka. I scored 372 in 2025 UTME. Actually, I started preparing for 2025 UTME from 2022 when I was in SS1. I was using a CBT app. I was using it to practice, checking my speed, and also seeing places for improvement. When I was practicing, I noticed that at some point, at that time, my challenge was physics. Physics scores were not really that good. And even at SS1, I was still improving until I got to a point where I was getting 300 consistently. And I was improving on my speed and also on my knowledge. And as I was also advancing in classes, I saw my scores were also improving correspondingly. During where the twist came was when I was so close to registering for UTME 2025, and JAMB brought a policy that underage can't register. Those who won't be 16 by September 30th of the year of the exam, which in this case was 2025. It was like a shock. I was like, my consistency, my practice, my diligence, sleepless nights would just fall like a pack of cards. So I was crying, I cried bitterly. My parents encouraged me that don't worry, JAMB there will be a policy for exceptional candidates and the rest. And truly, JAMB made a policy that those who think they are exceptional are those who they believe they can score at least 80% in UTME, WASE or NECO, then post-UTME, and a special screening for underage candidates. And I said, yeah, I believe that I could do it. So my parents and I, we signed an indemnity form and I was able to register. So thank God for my parents that encouraged me, that I did not lose focus, I did not lose the energy, the zeal to study. So being that I have to score at least 320 in JAMB, that now made me to put in more effort to even outpass that boundary. And to the glory of God, I scored 372. Then for the results to come out now, I've not even seen the results. And I said that those who didn't reach that benchmark would even be able to see their results. And results have not been out. What was out at that time was the statistics, and they said only about 1%, 1.16 or 1.17% of the underage candidates that wrote scaled the hurdle. That's saying that out of over 40,000, only about 467 candidates at the time scored 320 and above. Wow. I was now hoping for the best, though I know that I believe in myself that I'm going to pass that hurdle. But that tension, to see your results and the rest. Surprisingly, one Wednesday evening, or maybe let me say night, I checked 55019. They sent me your UTME score. I was like, how will this be my UTME score? Normally I know, because I've been following the trend, JAMB, for you to be able to see your results using the SMS method, you don't have to request, write UTME results. They'll send to you, you see your name, your registration number, and they'll now give you the breakdown. But they just told me your 2025 UTME results is this. I did not see my name, I did not see my registration number. But it was 55019 that previously sent me my profile code when I requested and the rest. And I said, could this be true? Could this not be true? I saw English. They never write English, they wrote UOE, that's use of English. But not me, they might write ENG. So I was not suspecting and the rest, though I still believe, because the score 372 was like an average of my scores during the practices with TestDriller app. I saw 98 in physics, 98 in chemistry, 98 in mathematics, 78 in UOE, use of English. And I was not saying 8, my result ending with 8. The other 3 subjects 98. I said, hope this one is not scam like this. I said, no, it's not scam, because this is 55019. I said, what if they've hacked? I was just thinking, but later I said, let me wait till the following day whether I will hear the same reports from other people that maybe this year JAMB has already changed the way you view your results. Maybe they're going to send automatically to you. And I saw in the news the following day that JAMB has released the results of underage automatically for those that scaled the 320 hurdle. I said, okay, that means it's genuine. That's when my joy, I was not feeling happy that, wow, so this is real. But later, 372. Nobody has ever crossed the 370. Nobody has even gotten 370 in the history of JAMB when they introduced this CBT stuff. So that means that I was part of those who broke 11-year record at a very young age, and when I would have even been denied of writing the exam due to age. That shows that, you know, I actually believed in God, and God helped me. Thank God for the policy, thank God for the nation for supporting young children who feel that they're exceptional to show for their abilities. Then that's how I now saw that everything went good, and I was very, very happy.
My name is Sister Gloria Azoineme. I'm the mother of Samuel Chukwuemeka. He is my first child. I'm his mom. So during the preparation for his exam, I really pay a lot of sacrifice, because as a mother, you have to be there for your child. The first thing I did is to allow him to stay away from domestic work. I become his servant. I have to cook for him, even wash his clothes, do so many things for him to encourage him to put in his best. And today I can see the reward of my sacrifice, waking up early and going to the school, I think twice in a day, to go and give him food, because I come home late, at times after 9, at times to 9, at times after 8. So as a mother, I have to pay all this sacrifice for him. I have to stop my business, have time for him, so that he can really achieve what he's after. Because without supporting our children as parents, giving them the best, don't expect the best from them. You have to play your own role as a mother. And there's this undertaking you have to sign, that you come to pick your child, because releasing them 9, 10 in the night, they can't go home on their own. Parents fail to sign, your child will not participate in the preparation. But I have to take that risk. Go there, give him food in the afternoon, in the evening, the one that can sustain him till night, and also go back to go and pick him in the night. At times I'll wait there. If it's not true, sit down there. It's part of the sacrifice. At the end of everything, when I saw his result, his score, it gives me joy, and I'm proud of him. I thank God for that, and I use this opportunity to advise parents out there: support your children, give them time and support them in all they're doing, and you'll be happy too. Thank you.
I discovered the TestDriller app. You know, that was the app our school installed on the computers in the lab. So that's why I first knew about the app. Though I've seen the interviews I saw the interview of the lady that got to 65 last year that used the app. So I was familiar with the name, but where I actually got in touch with the app really was when our school installed it on our systems. I use the TestDriller app in so many ways, so many fantastic ways. The one I use regularly is the practice, where I normally check my how far I've gone in learning, and also my time management. That's one thing I like the TestDriller app for. It shows the percentage of time you used alongside the percentage of your scores generally, whether it's 3 words over 400, and also details it for you per subject, like that. The other feature I used was the challenge that always come up every Saturday. They were like, I think 12 rounds, I've forgotten the number of rounds, but so many rounds every Saturday starting 10 a.m. You compete with about 2,000 students, just the real life JAMB scenario. So I was familiarizing myself with, okay, I'm competing with these students. And what actually drove me further to even do the competition was that they might give me charge card. So I'll put in my number there. So I'm always among the top 20. So there was a time I got 20, they gave me 100, and there was a time they gave me 1,700. I was easy to buy data and the rest, to also help in my studies as well. And I also use the educational games. At times you might be tired of studying. That's the truth. At times you might just be tired. So I'll just go for one educational game. Okay, who wants to be a millionaire on chemistry? It's JAMB questions on chemistry they'll be asking, but it will look like the game. That will also help you to ease stress. And I use the dictionary once in a while. My favorite feature is the challenge section, where I was able to compete with about 2,000 candidates plus or minus. Then also the fact that I was also going to get recharge card motivated me to do it every Saturday. That's my favorite feature. The success rate of candidates that wrote in our school for the JAMB 2025 was over 95%. In fact, virtually all of us scaled 200. We had 6 people that got 300 plus, 372, we had 335, we had 330, we had 322, 321, like that. So it was really marvelous, and I can tell you that TestDriller app is very good. The success rate was fantastic, over 95%. Wow.
This app is a very good one in the sense that it helps students to control their time during preparation. Even my child is so proud of that. You keep testing yourself so that when you sit down for the real exams, you're already used to the system. You are used to it as if it's something that you've been practicing. So it helps them in time control and also help them to be focused. At times some students during the exam, there's this shock. Is it the exam now I'm writing? But at the process of practicing, they're already used to it as something that they are doing. So the app is really good, and my bro is proud of it. He said it really helped him to control his time and also achieve his aim.
Yeah, I have several awards. Actually, this competition journey started mainly when I was in GSS 3. I started mainly in GSS 3, but the first main competition I went for in secondary school was when I was in GSS 1, where I participated. I was among the people who represented our school in a competition, Young Mathematicians Competition, YMC. I was part of those who represented those in the junior category. We took 4th at the time, then while the senior category took 1st. Then where the journey really began was in GSS 3, where I was summoned to take just for the competition was actually 1 week, in 1 week time. Then I was called by a director that there's a competition coming up, will you be able to go? No preparation, not like months of preparation. Thank God I've been preparing on my own. Before I entered GSS 3, I've virtually covered the topics in mathematics. So the impromptu, so short preparation, thinking that the preparation would have been short. No, I've already started to prepare. I went for the competition, the Google Mathematics competition, in partnership with Destiny Dreams Project USA. I represented the school in the junior category, and I took 3rd, the second runner up. Then in GSS 3, that same GSS 3, that was not the interesting part, where I had to participate in a competition that was meant for the senior category, SS1 and SS2. So within the school, we had a kind of elimination test, and I took 1st, beating those that were in SS1 and SS2. Why I have not even entered secondary school, because I was reading ahead of my class, far ahead in mathematics. Then going for the competition is our Generation Foundation Mathematics Competition. The abbreviation is just OGF. You can just say OGF. It's between states, like it was held across states in Nigeria, but I wrote in Ogun State. This competition is in 4 stages. We have I've actually forgotten the name of the stages, but we have the knockout stage, the preliminary stage. I remember the preliminary stage, the knockout stage, the final written stage, and the grand finale. So we did an internal elimination in our school. Out of 20 of us, we had 10 to go for the preliminary stage. It was actually meant for SS1 and SS2. So me in GSS 3, I beat my seniors for the internal elimination tests. Then we now went for the first stage, where we pick 5 schools, the top 5 from all the schools that participated. And there were so many schools that participated. Then I came, I think 3rd. I was not the first to qualify for the knockout stage, but I was among those that qualified. I went for the knockout stage, where they will pick only 1 person to represent the entire school among all the schools, all the schools. So we'll have one person like that. That one, I was not the first as of GSS 3. So what it means was that I was able to beat those who have been studying those topics in SS1 and SS2. So it's God's grace that helped me, and consistency. Then I now went for the final written stage. I wrote the exam. That's where they will now pick the top 10. So the thousands of students that qualified for the final written stage, for them to go for the grand finale, where the top 10 will meet. That was the time that my students could not carry me again. As of GSS 3, I've already tried. So I won an award, and the award was a special award. They call it, the award is the most promising student. I was the most promising student because I was the only candidate that competed in that competition and was in junior secondary school at the time, JSS3. So I won that award, to the glory of God. I now went for the same competition now with full energy in SS1. Now that I'm qualified. The same elimination test we did internally in our school, I took first, then went for the preliminary stage. I was among the top 5 to qualify for the knockout stage among our schoolmates. Then for the final written stage, I knocked the remaining 4 people out, as the name is knockout stage. Then I went for the final written stage. Now I remember that this was the same point where I missed it last time. That's where the top 10 from all the schools that participated converged at Abeokuta to hold the grand finale, where we now did the final round, stage by stage, and I was ranked 4th. I was so close to getting 3rd, I think just 0.4, very minute distance. So I was happy because I noticed that there was improvement, and I was also being exposed to different conditions, exposed to different people, exposed to different cultures, exposed to different students with different academic abilities, and that also helped me. I know it really helped me in my external exams. Then I went for, finally, when I was in SS3, that Google mathematics competition I talked about earlier, when I went for the junior category, I went for it again, the senior category, when I was in SS3, early this year, 2025, February. Then I was the one that represented this school in the senior category, and I was the first runner up, so the 2nd position. And I was really happy because it was a competition that was in partnership with Destiny Dreams Project USA. So they gave me my awards, my plaques, and the rest, and I made the school, family, and everyone proud. And also so many intra-school competitions too I also participated in and won.
My child is the type that likes studying. He's not the type you force him to pick his book. He's the one that will pick it. In fact, I always struggle with him to go and rest. He can stretch throughout the night coming back from school. At times 6 in the morning, you still meet him studying. At times 5, at times 4. At a point, I have to join him that, okay, maybe anything 2, 3, he should go in and rest, but no way. But this boy went extra mile that he stopped coming to the bed. He said he don't even need anything fun, that he don't want to sleep off. He will stay in the heat, mosquito, to make sure he study. So I see that this child is a wonderful child, so I have to give him all my support and make sure he gets what he really wants. But despite that, he needs help so that he will not break down. At a point, I come in, force him to the bed, go and rest. And there is another secret, I will not wake him early. Maybe he went to bed 5 or 4, 6. I will now wake him up, go prepare for school. No, I'll let him stay, maybe rest till 7:30. Then because he's not doing anything, just to bed and get himself prepared. And the school is very close to the house. So those are some of the strategies we use this period. As
my director always tell me, you prepare, the only way to prepare for an exam is doing an exam. So we did, me personally, I've done over 40 practices on the TestDriller app in the space of 1.5 months roughly. The strategy I used in the real exam was what I deployed when I was practicing. So I started with chemistry, physics, maths, and English. For me, I would advise you to do use of English last because it can actually demoralize you, where you might have to be trying to comprehend a passage and the rest. So the first 20, to me, and I've read it, like the first 20 minutes or the early period of your exams matters the most. Your psychology, it will affect the way you think and the way you perform in the rest of the exam. So it's always advisable for you to start with your strengths. Like me, in the practices, I noticed that chemistry, I'll finish it in 6 to 10 minutes. Then physics, I now followed my strength. That's the strategy I deployed in the real exam. I was able to finish the exam before 2 hours, and I started with chemistry. But there was a strange thing that happened when I started the chemistry paper. I saw number 1, number 2, number 3. When maybe out of the first 6, I was only able to answer 2 or 3. I was almost getting destabilized. I said, it has never happened in my practice. I had to start from number 40, 39, 38 before I was now balanced. I was not able to continue. At the time I came back to, you skip the questions you can't answer at the time, and the ones that you can answer, you also do them, and also move on to other subjects because the time is running out. At the time I skipped chemistry, I had only done 30 questions. I went to physics, I had only done 35 questions. Maths, I think I did 38 because the answers were not there, and some, so I had to take my time while solving. So all these strategies you should also put in place. The main thing I'm saying is that I started with my strengths. But when I noticed that things changed in the exam hall, I also deployed another strategy that I've never thought before, starting from the back to the front. So if that might help you in your own exam, it will be really nice. And I finished before the 2 hours. I submitted on my own, and in fact at the time I finished, maybe excluding those questions that I saw that might take my time, I had like 20 to 25 minutes left. So at the time I finished everything, I wrapped everything up, I submitted, and I still had some seconds left. Solving calculation problems in JAMB is different from WAEC and NECO. For WAEC and NECO, your steps and solutions matters a lot, because you can arrive at the correct answer, but because you've missed some steps and the rest, your marks will be deducted. For JAMB, they just care about you choosing the correct answer. So avoid the mentality of being meticulous by writing the solutions they are not going to see your paper. It's just a rough work. In fact, some people, it's just paper and exercise paper, or the one JAMB will provide to you, or even your registration slip. You won't have to submit your registration slip. So my advice is that you must have practiced enough. That's one strategy that really helped me, because as I said, I've been practicing from SS1. In fact, let me say GSS3 for mathematics, specifically GSS3. Every day I must solve questions on mathematics. So my accuracy was also leveling up with my speed. And those two are very important while solving calculation questions, because some people may actually know how to solve them, but the problem is speed. You will not be able to finish your time. You will use like almost 1 hour for mathematics, or some calculation questions in physics, you'll be spending so much time. So I would advise that you start practicing early. Now is not late for you. Just make sure you are consistent, and for questions that require, maybe you see that the questions will take so long a time, what you just do is that you will skip them and come back to them later when you see that you still have enough time. That's actually the truth, because from the trend, English is always the least, mostly for science students, and even generally most of the times always the least. To me, I think it's difficult because first of all, it's not our native language. It was just borrowed from the white men. So there are some things that sound correct to us but are actually wrong. So why does this sound correct? Because we have been using it in our everyday life. This you think is correct, like reverse back, and they are saying no, it's not reverse back, it's reverse. Reverse means going back, all those kind of things. So when you see expressions, you think this expression is correct, you will not even have to think twice, but you just find out that your answer is wrong. I think that's also one reason why it might look easy but it's actually difficult to score a 90%. And secondly, what contributed, what I think might have contributed to my least score is that there's an aspect of JAMB use of English called, we will call it register, where you will be asked like 10 to 13 questions on a particular field of study. So that means an art student can be asked like 10 to 13 questions on something on space exploration or artificial intelligence, or maybe a science student being asked on law, government. So something that might not, it's possible that what they will ask you, and it's filling the gaps, so where you have to fill in real terms, what they use in their conversation. Law, they have their own terms, what they use that might not be regularly used by people. So you have to start studying early, and you must be able to remember, must be able to accurately know that this is what they use in this particular field. So I think that's really, you can paint a picture of a vast knowledge you need to have. That might be a problem why scoring 90% in English is difficult. And I heard that also some people normally find test of orals difficult, where they'll underline a particular word or group of words and look for the one that has that same sound there. And some, as I said before, some of those things they are pronounced wrongly in our everyday life. just for you to see, you know, JAMB, your wrong answer must be there. People will be happy that, oh, I'm going to get 95%, I'm going to get 80% in English. You just see 68, 69. I think all this contributes to low performance in English generally. English language is a very delicate subject in that you can't be taught fully. Only those who are ready and they are willing to learn be able to learn. So my advice is that, you know, JAMB has part questions for English. What I did was that we got to a point I was trying to know the answer to every question in the JAMB book for English language, but I think it's not advisable. Just learn the skills. I discovered that lately. Just learn the skills. Don't need to know the answer thinking that maybe they might repeat the questions. It might not be possible. If it even happens, maybe just one or two situations where you see that. So my appeal to you that you should learn the skills, solve the questions, then look at the area. Maybe is it in register or in synonyms or in antonyms or the section. You know, under JAMB there are sections of there are sections where you'll be tested on whether it's the synonym aspect or nearest in meaning or opposite in meaning, or the one that can completely that can correctly fill in. So all those things, just learn the skills. I think that would be more beneficial than learning the answers to every question. It might not even feature in your exam. Learning can only be effective if you are there in full presence of mind. For me, I discovered that I'm not the type that would be able to wake up in the night to read like many people advise. What I noticed was that if I wake up in the night to read, like me waking up after sleeping for some time, now waking up to read, it affects my brain. I'll not be able to read, I'll not be able to comprehend, I will sleep off. Me waking up, I will not be disturbing myself, having headache unnecessarily. And I said, okay, what I'll do is that despite the stress, my body was already used to stress. Even my mom normally fights with me because I'm already used to stress. After coming back maybe 8 in the night or 9 p.m, I will now start reading till 12, 1, every blessed day I must see 12, 1. At times 2, at times 3, at times 4, at times 5 a.m. and I'll have to be in school by 8 or to 8. So I've been running my life like this for 3 years in senior secondary school, and that helped my learning to be, you know, good, because I understood myself, understood my psychology, I understood my health. Some people they can't read where there's no noise. Some people have to play music for them to read. But I'm not like that. Though at times I play music, I normally read in the night. 1, 2, I normally read on a stretch. 3, I like to understand what the teacher has taught me by asking real questions, numerous, at times frustrating, but making sure that I understand the topic being taught. So all this helped my learning to be fast and effective. Apart from the time I used to study in school and during my free time, I told my study on an average of 3 to 4 hours. So summing everything up, I study on an average of 5 to 6 hours daily. An average of 5 to 6 hours daily. To be the best. That's all. Because I'm always targeting, like my class, I'm always targeting first position, and my exams, everything. If I miss one question, I'll not be happy. So all these things drive me to always excel. That's why they'll be like, my own is too much. As if you're not contented, but I'm actually contented. It's just to drive me further, so I will not relax. I am aspiring to study aerospace engineering. I went for the course, or let me say I'm going for the course because I noticed that it's in line with my strengths. I have this deep passion for physics, advanced physics and mathematics, and also applying them in solving real life situations and problems. I've been searching for courses where this will be, like this has to be a major part of you, where this advanced physics, love for physics, maths, and also solving real life problems, and also computer skills too. And I said that, wow, this course is a course that you need a basic knowledge in almost every field in science and engineering. That's why I also went for the course. And also Elon Musk is my mentor in this course, because I noticed that the man, he is very, very innovative. And he's also the CEO of so many companies in different fields in science and technology, and has been helping in solving some world challenges. So also a form of inspiration and motivation for me to also join the league of solving life problems. I appreciate my parents especially because they were the ones that gave me the needed resources, time, encouragement. Even though I said earlier, they said I was underage, I could not write. My mom always encouraged me and told me that I'm going to write this exam. That God will make a way, I'm going to write the exam. And truly God made a way. She'll cook for me. She'll come to pick me. You know, we close late, so she'll come to even pick me as of 8:30 to 9 every blessed day. And she was consistent, also supporting me, telling me that don't worry, you'll be the highest. Now I was actually targeting the highest. So being among the top 10 was not like a surprise. He was also praying for me. My dad will also, if I say I want to recharge so maybe I want to subscribe to so app to prepare for the exam, we'll send the money. My teachers, they will even go extra mile coming on Saturday and Sundays to invest knowledge in us and impact our lives. The school too, running field, you know, every day we must do at least 1 CBT practice, at times 2 CBT practices, and our neighbors too encouraging us that we will do it. I appreciate everyone, and God Almighty too keeping me alive in good health at the time I wrote my exam.
My name is Pastor Oludaisioluwa Benga. I'm the church pastor where he worshipped, that is Samuel. He's one of the youths in the church, and then from time he has been showing the attitude that is ready to be one of the best, even in the church activities and in the school. So he's such a child that is spiritually okay, balanced, and academically balanced, and socially. So that is what I can say about him. The score, I was not surprised when he sent the score to me. That was in one of our weekly service. That was Thursday. I remember vividly when the mother came with him on Saturday morning. They were like, the indemnity form to fill. I told them, I said, most of the time we take risk to accomplish success. So I asked them, I was wondering even if them to send the money, and then eventually the thing worked out. I remember I told him, I said, once you don't understand any particular question, please don't pick. Just leave that question. So I was expectant, I was watching. So when he forwarded the result to me, in fact, after the service that day, I just broke out the news in the church. So I was very happy. I knew it's going to pass, but I don't know what the score will be. But at least I was knowing that he must score from 300 and above. So that is what gave me, joy. And when I saw the result, I was even monitoring to see who we score. After that moment, we couldn't see even students that we score. I was able to score until later we discovered that there were certain students that scored about it. And before you know it, we started pushing him, and this is what one of our students scored. So it gives us joy, even despite we are very small here, but something good is coming out from the church here. So we thank God, and I was very happy for that. Well, I think hearing from the students with the way the TestDriller was, is a well-designed app for students, and then it really helps if they have designed it to the point that on each particular subject, topic of a particular subject, they could grade you. Maybe out of 5 questions, you are able to score 2. Out of this, you are able to score 3. That shows that the people that designed the app, they really understood the need of the students, and a serious-minded student will be able to know that this is where it's lacking, and that is where you need to bridge the gap. So I so much love the app because it's an app that really segments each topic and in each subject for students to be able to know where you are good at and where you need to improve on.
I really appreciate this app because of what they are doing, most especially encouraging children with awards for their performance. That will even ginger other students to look onto them that I need to put more effort in my study so that I can be part of those top students that will be awarded. So I'm really happy for that strategy they are using. I pray that God Almighty will lift them up the more and they will go to heights that they did not dream of, and God will support them and make them great, and they will also impact more in the life of our youth.
For sure, I will recommend the TestDriller app, and so many reasons. First, you'll be able to familiarize yourself with the system of JAMB testing. 2 hours, 180 questions, 4 subjects. You'll be able to know, okay, this is the subject you are lacking, you have to improve on. And most especially, what I really love the TestDriller app for is the analysis of the results. They won't just tell you, okay, you got 95 in physics and 80 this in chemistry or like that. They will break it down per topic. Okay, electrochemistry, you were asked 3 questions, you got 1 correct. Oxidation and reduction, like that. So physics, waves, reflection, refraction, so you'll be able to know. It will really make it easier for you to brush up and improve on yourself topic wise and subject wise. And time management, as I said earlier, to show the percentage of time you use. Okay, you use 1 hour 35 minutes out of 2 hours. You used everything to show 100%. It's not that you scored everything, it just means you used your time. It really helped me a lot. I recommend the TestDriller app, and the fact that you're also able to go for challenges weekly, it motivates students, giving them charge card and familiarizing themselves with the system is something I can really recommend. I appreciate the TestDriller team for the awards, and God will bless you guys mightily and beyond measures, because these awards are actually, they will motivate students to also do more and better. So my advice is that they should continue giving such awards and maybe even make it better, so that students will be motivated to be able to put in more effort to break records as well.
Congratulations!